All right, guys. So today for your assignment, you are going to be showing me everything that you know so far about ecosystems because we are nearing the end of our ecosystems unit. So for the first slide, you are going to drag and drop the examples of producers inside of this box. So you're going to go through and read all of the examples. A fern, which is a type of like a bush-like plant, deer, bacteria, bear, grass, earthworms, moss, which is another type of plant, a skunk, a snake, fungus on a tree, a snail, and nuts, which also grow on trees. So that's also a type of plant. So you're going to drag and drop the choices that are producers in the box below. And then with the same choices, you're going to drag and drop the consumers. So your answer should be different on this slide than the slide before. And then lastly, you're going to do the decomposers. So again, you've got the same choices, and you're just going to drag and drop the ones that you haven't used already, the examples of decomposers inside of this box. Then on slide 4, you are going to drag and drop into the correct places below. So here are the titles of the 3 different types of organisms that we find in an ecosystem. You just identified examples there. So you're putting their titles here. Then a definition of what those organisms do in the ecosystem goes in this column. And then for each of your examples or each of your types of organisms, you're going to have 2 examples for each one. So consumers, you have consumers, and in the definition, organisms which get energy from eating other organisms. And then down here, you're going to have to find 2 examples of organisms that get their energy from eating other animals. And you're going to drag and drop those examples there. For decomposers, you've got to find the definition and another example. So if you have any questions there, sure you ask. Lastly, or not lastly, we still got a couple more slides. On slide 5, you're going to answer this question here below. Why are decomposers so important to a balanced ecosystem? So you're going to start by typing your answers. Part of the question in your answer. So decomposers are important to a balanced ecosystem because, and if you can't remember why decomposers are important, click on this link here and it will help you to be able to remember the different roles that are in the ecosystem and why they're important. And then also, you're going to find examples of herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores, and you're going to drag and drop those in the correct places. And again, if you're having trouble remembering, go ahead, click on this link for a quick little reminder. Um, then on slide 6, 7, and 8, you've got multiple choice questions, and you're going to type the answer choice in the box here. And then you're going to tell me why you know that your answer is correct. So, which best explains why producers are an important part of the ecosystem? Is it because they pass the sun's energy onto other organisms? They pass energy from consumers to decomposers? They make their own energy and pass it on to other producers? Or they pass energy from first level consumers to second level consumers? Why are producers important? So, you're going to type your answer, whether you think it's A, or B or C or D. You're going to type that there, and then you're going to tell me why you chose that answer. You're going to do the same thing for number 7 and number 8. And number 7 says, which best describes the role of a first level consumer in an ecosystem? Is it the consumers that eat the producers and pass the energy along in an ecosystem? Consumers eat scavengers and pass the energy along in an ecosystem. Consumers eat decomposers and pass the energy along in an ecosystem. Or consumers eat other consumers and pass the energy along in the ecosystem. What type of organisms are responsible for recycling the remains of dead plants or animals to the soil? Producers, consumers, herbivores, or decomposers? Remember, write your answer there on the side. And then lastly, your last question, how can you classify organisms according to the function that they serve in an ecosystem? You're going to double tap and type your answer there in the box below.